Guys, before I begin this video, I wish to join all of you in sharing the collective grief of those who lost their loved ones in the tragic inferno in Goa. The people of Goa must now stand together with strength and resolve and demand answers from the businesses whose greed appears to have resulted in this annihilation of so many innocent lives. Guys, we must seek accountability. It's a high time. We must seek accountability from the local authorities like police, regulatory authorities, and above all the political leadership. I mean, how can they allow such blatant violations of law to be continued and when that's too unchecked? Now, as a lawyer, I can only say to anyone among the victims who need legal support, our law firmly stands ready, well equipped to assist them. Now, for the causes of this nature, what is required is not the money but the shoulders. And we need the shoulders of the family to stand with us, and we are ready to give our shoulders to those families and to support them and collectively fight for the justice. Let's stand firmly with all the victims who have lost their lives in this hellfire in Goa. Now, this video is essentially to give an update on our fight against the laws of medical negligence in India. Now, as you are aware that for the last 2 years since we took up the fight for Simran, we have been knocking the doors of various courts, uh, for making certain laws on prosecution of doctors on medical negligence. But this fight is not easy. So, so we finally decided to file a writ petition in before Honorable Supreme Court. I mean, the writ petition was dismissed. Essentially, it was dismissed because the court was of the view that we already had got what we wanted. I mean, not essentially, not in those many words, but according to court that we were able to successfully initiate prosecution of a doctor, that whatever Lagda or whatever name he is having. Okay, so since what we the kind of laws we were challenging, the procedures we were challenging, he said that the court said that you have got relief based on those procedures only. So writ petition is not right, and maybe the court also viewed that the writ petition is in a way to influence the criminal prosecution of the doctor, but though it was not, but whatever our fate was, the writ petition was dismissed. But soon after, just in the next week, another PIL was filed by Sameeksha Foundation. It's the case titled Sameeksha Foundation versus UI. The court has issued the notice. The Supreme Court has issued the notice to the central government and I guess the National Medical Commission, that what rules they have framed for the prosecution of the doctors. I mean, that exactly was one of our prayers as well in our writ petition. Okay, so understand, people may mind, I really don't care about it. And these judges, right from your district courts onwards, which goes up to the Supreme Court, they are living in their ivory towers. They don't know the reality, what is happening on the ground. And I have been maintaining that medical negligence is a crime which is linked to a particular class, and that class is the middle class. Because if you go to lower class, they anyway don't get any services. So their fate is to die, and that is the unfortunate part of this country. Wo jayegi. If in case you ask my maid, if in case she gets sick, whom does she go? She'll find that some Bengali doctor, understand, the quack. तो उस बेचारे को तो सर्विस मिलनी ही नहीं है. जहाँ पे सर्विस ही नहीं मिल रही वहाँ पे नेग्लिजेंस क्या होगी? Okay, so leave that. Then there is upper middle class and rich class. I mean, they will have, if they get sick, they'll have doctors queued up for them. You understand? I don't want to name a judge, but there was a Supreme Court judge who Supreme Court judge थे या पता नहीं पंजाब हरियाणा हाई कोर्ट के थे, I guess Supreme Court में थे. He suffered a heart attack. He was airlifted by helicopter. So, so to that person, will he ever die because of medical negligence? He may die because of more of medical indulgence rather than medical negligence. Okay, when those big A's or any big industrialist, do you think he will die because he did not get a service, or he was not treated properly by a doctor? Because he'll have a battery of doctors to treat him, man. I mean, doctors will be fighting among themselves who's going to treat. So this crime is not for the middle class or upper middle class. This crime is specifically aimed at the 20 to 30% of the middle class. मेरे आपके जैसे गरीब लोग जो एक बार डॉक्टर को जाते हैं, तो we think that paying 2,000 rupees a fees to a doctor in Gurgaon means hell lot of money, man. Means hell lot of money, and half a day gets wasted. Okay, so once we have taken an advice and opinion of a doctor by paying so much of money and then taking second opinion, it's very tough. I mean, you go to a big hospital like Medanta. I have a case where the poor child suffered from jaundice in Chandigarh. Then he was treated in Hisar, and then he finally lost his life in Medanta in Gurgaon. Do you think when someone is spending all his life saving about 20 to 30 lakhs, and that's a hell lot of money for Indians, right? Will he have the capacity to seek multiple opinions? And then बात क्या होती है कि यार Vedanta से ऊपर अब और क्या? What more than Vedanta? So this is class specific crime, guys. So my request to all those people who are suffering from medical negligence is that please show these gentlemen sitting in ivory towers that the reality is massive crisis. People are dying, and there is no way that they can get justice. All those Article 14s and Article 21s are taken for toss. So guys, please file as many PILs as possible so that Supreme Court understands and tell you Supreme Court, our Supreme Court is a good court. They empathize. I mean, they do live in ivory towers. So, they live in tall towers. So it will be difficult for you, to raise their voice to a level that they can hear. But once it is heard, it will be acted upon. So the only way to make them hear is please file as many PILs or as many writs possible before the Supreme Court if you are the victim. All these medical negligence boards which are made, medical councils, there the members are heartless guys. We need to tell them. When I have, at least in last 2 years, I would have seen not less than about 40 to 50 medical negligence board reports. Not even a single report. And if in case anyone challenges me, I can prove it. Not even a single report is worth reading. They are all biased. They're all biased. Now we have to tell the Supreme Court that, boss, this is not working. These doctors, they have not taken Hippocratic oaths. They are bloody hypocrites, and they must be prosecuted. Compensation is one part of it, but they must go to jail. So this video was not to give any gyan. Okay, it was essentially to share that, albeit small, but at least the first step towards the victory of getting these I'll restrain myself. Getting these doctors behind the bars. Okay, and anyone who needs support on medical negligence, our law firms, our services are always there. Of course, we are constrained on resources as far as the financials are concerned, but to whatever extent possible, we would be there to support. Okay, and one thing more, I receive a lot of calls, a lot of messages, and at times emails also, seeking our support. Uh, One thing I must tell you, that if in case you are seeking compensation, the way to go is either the civil court, or better would be the consumer forum. Now, if you go to consumer forum, the jurisdiction of consumer forum is decided on the basis of, when we say territory, where the victim had lived or was living immediately before the death, the loss of life or loss of limb, or if in case he has lost, maybe, he's become paralyzed, or has got a lost limb, or he has, has been suffered some injury because of medical negligence. So where he is residing after that procedure. So that could be the one place. The other place would be where the hospital is. So that is how you decide the territory. But more important than territory is the pecuniary jurisdiction. So there are three forums: district, state, and National Consumer Commission, where you can go. Now, if in case, I don't get into indulge into too many consumer cases, but whatever I'm saying is correct, or you can check the act. So the pecuniary jurisdiction कि भी किस फोरम में लगेगा, डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, स्टेट में, सेंट्रल में या नेशनल में, इट्स डिपेंडेंट ऑन हाउ मच मनी यू हैव स्पेंट, नॉट हाउ मच मनी यू हैव क्लेम्ड. ये 2019 में जो एक्ट अमेंड हुआ था, द अमेंडमेंट केम देयर, इट वाज सो इनिशियली प्रायर टू दैट, द ओल्डर एक्ट, इट वाज हाउ मच मनी यू आर क्लेमिंग. You could decide the forum on the basis of that. But now, after the last amendment, it is how much money you have spent. So if in case you have spent, say, about 50 lakhs, uh, and you don't spend more than that, then the first forum would be District Consumer Commission. And I guess from 50 lakh onwards, upwards, till about 2 crores it is state, and more than 2 crores is national. So it's very, very low chance that you will, even in case it involves the death of a person, that you will have jurisdiction of National Consumer Commission. Okay, so please be clear on that. Okay, and as always, stay well, and always be prepared to fight for your rights. Thank you.